Hello, my name is Erin Landis, Director of Editorial for KGL, here with an installment of the KGL PeerWise Video Insight Series. Today, we're asking 3 questions in 3 minutes to Dr. Chhavi Chauhan, founder and president of Samast AI, on the use of open large language models, also known as LLMs, versus closed systems for peer review. Welcome, Chhavi.
Thank you.
So nice to have you here today. And so we'll jump right into our first question. So how would you compare the use of closed versus open LLMs in peer review workflows, particularly with respect to data transparency, customization, and content reliability?
Well, with regards to data transparency, there's more value, according to me, in relying on open large language model based models, with visibility into training data to mitigate bias. We can institute provenance controls, as well as there could be built-in mechanisms for conducting internal audits, for risk mitigation and improvement. In terms of customization, it is easier and somewhat more affordable to use closed large language models, especially in the current cash-strapped ecosystem. Though open models may allow for more control, but that may come at a high cost leveraging trained personnel, right? So in terms of content reliability, closed models are constantly improving performance in many ways, though users are susceptible to constant risk of vendor updates, affecting processes and guidelines. Open models may be great at securing content reliability, though you need excellent red teaming to maintain both quality and safety. So overall, it may make most sense to use closed large language models for broad editorial assistance in peer review. If you want to improve efficiencies, and use open self-hosted large language models for sensitive manuscript content and reviewer exchanges. So I would really advocate for a hybrid approach in peer review workflows depending on your needs.
Okay, great. Thank you. That was incredibly comprehensive and such a thorough response. Thank you. So we'll move on to question number 2. What are the potential ethical and operational implications of integrating open source LLMs versus proprietary models in peer review, editorial decision-making, or research integrity checks?
Yeah, the ethical and operational implications of open source versus proprietary large language models in scholarly publishing are quite distinct, especially when the stakes involve fairness in peer review, editorial authority, and trust in research integrity. So closed large language models lack explainability, as they are black box models with inherent biases in training data sets that may not be known to the users. So I would advocate for open large language models that are more transparent, explainable, can be inspected and audited over time, and generally have guardrails in place to promote accountability. However, we do have to consider the fact that this increases the burden on the publishers and editors to check and maintain scientific rigor should they choose to do that. I do want to emphasize that both open and closed large language models cannot and should not replace human judgment. Having said that, there is already real-world evidence building in our industry for organizations foregoing human in the loop given the associated costs, which is disturbing to me.
Right. Absolutely, human in the loop. That seems to be the catchphrase, and absolutely necessary for artificial intelligence. So lastly, in your view, how do the licensing terms and data governance models of open and closed LLMs impact their suitability for tasks like manuscript screening, metadata generation, and author support in peer review?
Yeah, so in my knowledge, there is a wide variation in licensing features for both models currently, with some and I had to look this up, like Apache 2.0 and MIT are being fully permissive, and others are still restricting commercial use. Though the outputs from the models can be free to use, the training data provenance still remains murky. Open models may allow to implement more governance mechanisms. I would certainly recommend their usage for sensitive tasks like manuscript screening for misconduct, when we're talking about plagiarism or concerns regarding data integrity, and even handling confidential reviewer comments. It also allows for a degree of reproducibility with version controls and logs for auditing processes. Having said that, it may increase the operational overhead for publishers to build compliance and to perform monitoring and red teaming themselves. Bottom line is that closed models may be more affordable, they may be easier to use, but they will be less transparent. Though open models offer more reproducibility and confidentiality, they require instituting new compliance frameworks that are currently not in place.
All right. Well, thank you so much. You provided a lot of very valuable information and insight, and I certainly learned a lot. Obviously, this is a very important topic for our industry, so I appreciate the time that you took to answer these 3 questions. And for our viewers of this video, if you'd like to learn anything more about KGL, please click on the link below. Thank you so much, Chhavi.